Reminder, I'm doing this little series and attempting to run 100 kilometres in September to fund the science to find a cure for paediatric brain cancer. If you can support me, that'd be fantastic. So G is for gaming. It's also for graphics, gigahertz, and gigaflops. I'm going to combine all those together. So let's start with gaming. I wrote a game many years ago on my second ever computer, an Apple II. It was a role-playing game, entirely text-based, choose-your-own-adventure style, added some random number generation for some dice rolling to make it interesting, I thought. I was pretty happy with it. Tested it on precisely one person, the boyfriend of my sister. He played it for about 10 minutes, then he stood up and said, "It's a bit boring. Do you think you could add some graphics?" After I was crushed, or I got over being crushed, I thought, teaches me a really good lesson. Know your target market and your target audience. I'd written a game for someone with intelligence and imagination. That wasn't my test audience. So learn a valuable lesson, didn't actually take the game any further. But I was probably inhibited by the power of the machine. I was using an Apple II, as I said. It had the same processor, a MOS 8502 chip that ran between 1 and 2 megahertz. This was my first computer, which I still have, the Dick Smith Wizard, that also ran an 8502A. Now, to put this into context, and this is where what I thought I'd focus on today, what is the relative power of computers today and how much graphics that they can produce and render compared to the kind of computer that I started on? So, 2001, Microsoft launched the original Xbox. Its clock speed was 733 megahertz. So 733 million times a second, it could execute some sort of request or take a request. That's about 500 times faster than the original computers that I was using. Fast forward to today, and the soon-to-be-released Xbox X has 8 cores that will all run at 3.8 gigahertz. But now we've transitioned, because of just the clock speed isn't enough to really measure the true performance, we use flops, floating point operations per second. That original Xbox back in 2001 could process 7,300 megaflops, 7,300 million floating point operations per second. The to-be released Xbox X can do 12.155 teraflops. That's an astounding amount. That's 12,155 gigaflops, or 12,155,000 megaflops. 12 trillion, basically, a lot. That is 1,655 times more powerful than the original Xbox, and the original Xbox was 500 times more powerful than my original Dick Smith Wizard. So that means that the soon-to-release Xbox is 827,500 times more powerful than my original Dick Smith Wizard. Okay, cheers.